Good morning, boys and girls. All right, today we are going to finish fourth grade rats. But before I start reading chapters 13 and 14, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the writing reflection that is due on Friday at 10 o'clock. Okay? All right, so it says this. After listening to fourth grade rats, think about the two characters of Suds and Joey. It seems as though they had a lot of mixed feelings about what it means to grow up as their interests change. Okay, they're getting older, things they're into. Keep that in mind and write a paragraph about how you can connect or relate with these characters. Now, that's one choice. I decided some kids felt like they really couldn't connect to these two characters, which is fine. All right, but that doesn't mean you don't do an assignment, right? So if that is the case, you don't you cannot do that part, or you feel like you can't really understand what they're going through. Instead, you may look at the two characters of Joey and Suds and write about how they changed in the book. Okay? It should be at least 5 sentences, 1 paragraph. Okay? And maybe you can give a couple examples. Text evidence for anything is always desired. Okay? All right. Remember, these are due on Friday. Okay? All right. And tomorrow, I might even give you a little extra time and not do a read aloud. So to make sure you get those done. All right. Now back to the important stuff, the end of the book. All right. Chapter 13, Confession. All right. My mother turned. Now, where we left off last, it was simply, remember, the mom saved, Suds was up on the tree trying to get the cat for Judy Billings. And the mom found Suds and kind of like saved her. And then as they were walking away, and then of course Joey had to come to the house and apologize with his mom going, "You better tell her, say sorry." So the last we left off, Mom was walking away. "Mom," I said, "I have a confession." So here we go. Chapter 13, Confession. My mother turned. Her eyebrows went up. "That's so." "Yeah," I said. "Maybe Joey did sort of push me, but the last couple days, it was all on my own." She sat on the edge of the sofa. "I see. Anything else? Confession is good for the soul, you know." "Well, there was another person in it, sort of." "I see." She crossed her legs, folded her arms. "Well, it was a girl." She nodded. She thought. "Would her initials by any chance be JB?" I was shocked. How did you know?" "You've been in love with Judy Billings since first grade." How did she know that?" "Well," I said, "something happened with her, and I guess I went a little crazy." "I see. Well, anyway, I think I'm through with her." My mom nodded. "I imagine she'll survive." She sat back in the sofa. She just smiled at me for a while. "Mom?" "Yes." There's more." "Is there?" "Yeah, you know when I was a rat there before you went up the tree?" "Yeah, well, I mean, I was really a rat. You wouldn't even believe it." "No." "I took stuff from little kids. I pushed them off swings. I got a detention at school because I couldn't stop laughing. I rang doorbells." "Oh, a regular rip snorter." "Yeah, and Mom?" "Yes." "It was me that took all those Klondike bars." Her eyebrows shot up. "Everyone?" "Yeah, totally." She shook her head. She was dumbfounded. "I'm afraid to ask if there's anything else." "Anything else? Anything else?" "Yeah, there was something else. Something still stuck inside me." "What was it?" "Don't know." "Can't think of anything else," I told her. She reached out and took my hand and squeezed it. "Well, rat or no rat, your mom still loves you." There. "Mom, I know now. Something else. When I was being a rat, I thought it was a great time, but I wasn't having a great time. I was having a rotten time. I thought of the faces of the little kids that I pushed around. It's like other kids thought I was a big deal or something. But I didn't like myself, Mom. My lip was quivering. It's no fun being a rat. Mom's face was blurry as she came toward me and pulled me to her. We stayed like that for a long time. I heard her sniffling. After a while, she said, "Remember when you said being a rat was the first step to becoming a man?" Yeah. Well, I was just thinking it's kind of funny. As soon as you stopped trying to be a man, you became one. Remember that. As soon as you stopped trying to be a man, you became one. In a nice little way, I might add. How's that? Your confession there. Taking blame on yourself, admitting you were wrong. Okay? This could be how a character's changing, right? That's grown up stuff. Really? She hugged me. Really? Well, I said, from now on, I'm just going to be a kid. That's enough. She laughed. That's plenty. Suddenly I remembered Winky. I bolted out the back door. I searched the yard. Nothing. I tore the lids off trash cans. Nothing. Gone. Winky, gone. No, my mother's voice came from the doorway. We thought you might change your mind. I stared at her finger, which was pointing upstairs. I dashed past her, up the steps, into my room. There he was, my one eyed teddy bear, sitting on my pillow. All right, chapter 14, me and dad. All right, so here we go. And then that'll be the end. I guess I should mention one other thing to wrap up the story. It was a couple days later, a Saturday, my dad's day off. I came back from playing outside and saw him in front of the VCR. I asked what he was watching. E.T., he said, only he didn't say it in a regular way. He sounded funny. More like, E.T. I came into the room. I looked at the screen. E.T. was on the table, all white. I looked at my father and his face. His eyes were glassy. His cheeks were wet. He was crying. Dad, I said. He pulled out a hanky and blew his nose. He chuckled. Every time that little guy dies, he sniffed. I want to bawl like a baby. I climbed onto his lap. I hadn't done that for a real long time. I nestled into him. Don't sweat it, Dad, I told him. I do too. All right. I think that Sud's changed a lot in this character as well as his friend. So think about some of the way they changed, and you can write about that, or you could write about how you can relate to what it's like growing up and being in fourth grade and things like that. Okay, so just make sure you have it in by 10 o'clock a.m. on Friday. Okay, I'll be looking for that. All right. All right. Well, until our next book. All right. Take care.